Prologue, the mysteries of forbidden knowledge revealed by Lilith, the queen of harlots, unto Lamech, son of Methusael, descendant of Cain the accursed. It happened under the veiled shroud of a new moon, when the world lay bathed in the ink of night. Lamech, burdened with a restless spirit, lay upon his cot, the realms of sleep elusive. In this profound darkness, Lilith came to him, not as a whisper, but as a storm of visions. He recognized her by the fiery cascade of her red hair, each strand a coil of beaten copper glinting with the stolen jewels of Egypt. Her cheeks, dusted with the blush of desert roses, seemed to glow from within, while her lips, parted slightly, dripped with the deep scarlet of pomegranate juice. Her eyes, two emerald waves, roiled with the depth of the ocean, capturing the dying light of the sun in their tumultuous embrace. Her smile revealed teeth as white as the untouched snows capping distant mountains, her skin as pale as the morning mist clinging to the hollows of secluded valleys. Lamech's gaze lingered upon her ethereal beauty, and a fierce desire took root in his heart. The faces of his earthly wives faded into obscurity, their visages turning ashen like skulls forgotten by time and etched with the cruel graffiti of death. "Fear not, child of my lineage, for I am come to soothe the tempest in your soul," she whispered, her voice the rustle of wind over a stormy sea. "I do not know you," Lamech protested, his voice a feeble murmur against the certainty of her presence. "You are not the consort of my father, Methusael." With a finger pale as moonlit lilies, she silenced him, her touch cool and commanding. "Hearken, for through me, the lineage of Cain, your lineage, has been imbued with ancient power, tracing back to the 7th generation. You are mine as surely as were your forebears. Deny me not, for soon the crimson stain upon your hands will affirm your heritage. Listen well, and I shall impart wisdom lost since the dawn of time." Enraptured, Lamech yielded to her embrace, her touch igniting an inferno of sensations that left him adrift in a sea of ecstasy and shame. The night deepened around him, the darkness whispering secrets as Lilith's words filled the void, teaching him the lore of ages past. As dawn's first light breached the horizon, heralded by the crow of a distant rooster, she vanished like smoke, leaving behind only the lingering scent of sandalwood and the echo of her promises. Stirred from the remnants of dreams and darkness, Lamech rose. He gathered pen, ink, and papyrus, and with a hand guided by forces beyond the veil, he transcribed the celestial script as she had commanded, words of power to be sealed in clay and buried beneath the earth, a hidden testament for those destined to uncover it in ages yet to come. Chapter 1. The Inception of Eternity. Hear and be wise. The deity revered by the descendants of Adam does not reign supreme in the celestial hierarchy. Far above him dwells a presence so vast that it defies measure. To call him a god would be to tarnish his essence, for he is not a deity, but a singular continuum of existence. He radiates a light so pure that no mortal eye can perceive it, and his voice is like thunder, resonating beyond the reach of mortal hearing. No being precedes him. His existence is limitless, infinite in scope and time. He is ineffable, a paragon of perfection, a solitary force complete unto himself. Beyond gender, size, or substance, this supreme entity exists outside the constructs of human comprehension. His nature is beyond questioning, for he is entirely unknowable, dwelling outside time, yet encompassing all durations. He is the progenitor of the aeons, presiding over existence with a sovereignty unmatched. He dispenses knowledge, yet remains distinct from wisdom. He offers mercy without embodying love. His name is an enigma, encapsulating all moments and identities within creation. Should his true name ever be uttered, the very fabric of the universe might unravel, signaling the end of all existence. In a realm untouched by time, the eternal unity gazed upon his reflection in the mirror of his own brilliance, for he was solitary in his perfection. From this self-reflection, he cast forth a radiant seed of desire, conceiving a pure image of himself in an act of divine self-love. Yet he retained his virginal essence. From his thought emerged the first power, Barbalon, radiant as the light of hidden perfection. Barbalon, in her luminance, sang praises to her creator, the source of her being. She embodied the glory of the initial thought, a celestial vision, the eternal matrix from which all creation sprung. Known as the heavenly atom, the queen of the aeons, she was both divine and dual-natured, the Shekinah from whose nurturing essence flowed the sustenance of all worlds. The perfect Father then imbued Barbalon with his light, igniting a divine spark within her. In joy, she bore forth this spark, resembling his light but diminished, for no spirit could mirror his magnitude. Named Autogene, the only begotten, he was conceived solely by the light of the invisible, bearing no offspring of his own. Endowed with a mind to discern truth and anointed with the waters of divine essence, Autogene was named Mashiach, the Anointed. Before the throne of the eternal Aeon, all celestial powers bowed in reverence, recognizing the truth shining within him, inscribed with the sacred letters of a name above all names. From the virgin expanse of the purest light, through Autogene's will, emerged the heavenly man, Gerodimus. Bestowed with intellect and the might to move mountains, he was placed beside the divine Autogene in the highest Aeon, the realm of pure light. His existence prefigured all that was, is, and will be. Gerodimus extolled the Father, the source and final destination of all existence, and praised the Son, the living embodiment of truth. Unseen, Barbalon veiled herself in clouds, unknown to Gerodimus, who sang no ode to the first power. Yet in the shadows of her own reflection, Barbalon harbored a secret desire. Jealous of Gerodimus's beauty and harmony, she sought to create a rival equal in allure. Her intentions, unshared with her divine counterpart, took form within her. Without the Father's consent, her wish materialized as a misshapen being, a serpent with a lion's head, its eyes like blazing stars. Distraught, Barbalon cast out this unintended creation, hiding it within a radiant cloud far from the celestial realms. Named Samuel by some, Altabaoth by others, he became the first of the Archons, growing potent with the stolen light of his mother. Chapter 2. The Temptation of Shadows. Samuel longed for the radiant light of Shekinah, which once shone from the visage of his mother. This same light simmered within him, yet it remained cloaked under the veil of his profound ignorance. As he reached the cusp of maturity, a restless desire stirred within him. His yearning was palpable, yet its object remained formless, elusive as the shadows that danced at the edges of his lonely kingdom. In his solitude, Samuel turned inward, searching for solace in the fiery furnace of his heart. There, he sought to mold his desires, twisting them as a potter shapes clay, aiming to sculpt a companion akin to the luminous form of Barbalon. From his own essence, from a place deep within his left side, he crafted a figure, a consort named Lilith, she who moves with the elegance of the night, draped in the enigmatic shadows of the moon. This is the psalm of Lilith's beauty. O my love, you stand tall and proud like the palm tree, its fruit hanging ripe and heavy. Your form is slender as the river reed that bows gracefully at dusk. Your hips sway with the sinuous grace of a serpent sliding over water's surface, yet the waters dare not claim you. Under the sun, your hair blazes like living flames, spun from golden threads. Under the moon, it flows dark and strong, sweeping the stars from the heavens. Your breasts rise and fall with each breath, like twin lambs scaling the mountainside. Beneath the sun, your eyes are serene doves fluttering in the cool, verdant shadows of the cedar. Beneath the moon, they transform into silver fish, darting through the dark waters of hidden depths. Your voice, a soothing cascade of water in the noon heat, while the pallor of your cheeks offers a shade oasis on the desert sands. Cool my arid lips with the wine of your kisses. Soothe my fevered brow with breezes from the mountain snows. Your thighs, majestic columns of marble, stand as sentinels at the temple's gate, dark under the sun but pale beneath the moonlight. With your scarlet lips, you whisper silent promises. Dance for me by moonlight, O beloved. Join me in the twilight where the lamps falter and the vigilant dogs slumber. Upon the altar of your abdomen, I sacrifice my very essence. Dance within the confines of my dreams, until my love for sleep surpasses that for the waking world, and I grow to despise the dawn. Yet, the consort was flawed, for her creator was incomplete. In outward appearance, Lilith mirrored the beauty of the primordial mother, yet within, she harbored a void, an echoing emptiness beneath her left rib, a hollow mirroring that of Samuel. Unaware of her own deficiency, she believed herself sovereign over all creation, a belief Samuel fostered as he paraded her across his domain. Her inner void spawned a desperate lust, a need to be filled, igniting a similar lust in Samuel when he beheld her unveiled form. Their union transformed them both into serpentine beings. He, the slant serpent striking like lightning from the heavens, she, the convolute serpent, ascending slowly from the earth like a clinging vine. Their coupling stirred the cosmos, creating a churning vortex akin to a colossal millstone spin. From this maelstrom emerged a dragon, eternal and unending. Its scales dripped like drops of blood. Its breath was fire. The beast's eyes were mere slits, blind to both sun and moon. This sightless creature, a red dragon born of their mutual need, became the only means through which they could find completion. Only through the dragon's coiled embrace could Samuel and Lilith unite. Their hollows momentarily filled by their progeny's form. As Samuel wielded the dragon's formidable power, channeling it to fulfill his desires, he created beings from the fervent heat of their mingled essences. He set these creations as rulers in the abyssal depths and celestial heights. 5 kings to govern the abyss, 7 for the firmament's zones, and 12 authorities encircling the splendor of his throne. Though he infused his creations with his fiery essence, Samuel remained oblivious to the pure light of his maternal lineage within him, the very source of his power. Reveling in his dominion, he declared himself the sole deity, blind to the concealed realms of higher lights and the perfect spirit, his proclamation a blasphemy, born of ignorance against the ineffable glory of the Blessed One. Chapter 3. The Redemption of Shadows. The luster of Babylon waned, her inner light dimmed by the shadows cast by her ill-formed son, Samuel. With the foresight bestowed upon her by the invisible spirit, she discerned the roots of her fading brilliance, her son's blasphemy and wickedness. Tarnished and ashamed, Babylon cloaked herself in a mantle of darkness, wandering aimlessly in her despair. She dared not return to her own aeon, tormented by regret over her misguided actions. Her sorrowful sighs echoed through the heavens, her prayers ascending to the Virgin Spirit, who, in infinite mercy, forgave her. The waters of life cleansed her soul, and her divine consort, Autogene, traversed the celestial realms to restore her former radiance. Elevated beyond her previous station, Babylon was taken to the 9th sphere, where she was rejuvenated by the perfect source itself. From his lofty realm, the Aeon of Aeons observed Samuel's deeds with disapproval, as a father might lament his child's missteps. Concerned that Samuel might harness the blind dragon's power for destruction as well as creation, he dispatched the Angel of the Light Aeon, Armazel, armed with a fiery sword, to neutralize the threat. Armazel entered Samuel's domain unseen, finding him in the throes of desire, blind to the celestial intervention. The angel deftly severed the red dragon's tail, rendering it impotent, unable to spawn the chaos from which Samuel's demons sprang. The immediate stillness was palpable. The once endless stream of creatures ceased. Samuel and Lilith, sundered from their source of power, cried out in anguish, his a rageful howl, hers a lament of despair. Separated, each lay alone, their union broken, their unquenched desires burning more fiercely than before. They fled from each other's sight, driven by the raw wounds of their incomplete souls. Lilith, her spirit burdened with emptiness, ventured into the mountains, her anguish palpable in the violent landscape around her. At the edge of Samuel's realm, she beheld a vision as the clouds parted, a glimpse of the waters that encircle the earth, illuminated from below. The majestic image of Gerardimus reflected in the waters stirred a new desire within her. Enraptured by his divine form, she vowed to create a likeness of this heavenly man to serve as her consort. Descending from the heights, Lilith gathered the elements of the earth, rotting leaves, mud, and slime. With these, she crafted an image, meticulously shaping it as she had seen in the celestial waters. Despite her efforts, the figure remained inert, lacking the divine spark necessary for life. Frustrated and tearful, Lilith's plight caught the attention of the invisible spirit, who sent Armazel to counsel her, though she perceived him not. Seeking to calm Samuel's wrath, Lilith drew him to the lifeless form she had created, suggesting it could serve them if infused with celestial power. Samuel, deceived by his own hubris and unaware of the divine spark within himself, attempted to animate the clay form by mirroring it with his own body. As he pressed his serpent form to the earthen figure, the divine spark he sought to command instead transferred to the clay, fulfilling the intent of the Aeon of Aeons. The man of earth stirred, his eyes opening with wonder and light, his form perfect and complete. Samuel's realization of his deception ignited a fury unmatched as he beheld a creation surpassing his own splendor. His jealousy erupted, challenging the very heavens, proclaiming his supremacy while unknowingly revealing his own inadequacy. The assembled celestial hosts murmured among themselves, pondering the nature of a god who fears rivalry, thus questioning the essence of his proclaimed divinity. Chapter 4: The Garden of Deception. Samael's eyes fell upon the luminous face of man, and his heart darkened with an intense jealousy. The creature, born from the breath of his own essence, surpassed all archons in wisdom and purity. Man was untainted by sin, a ascent, its roots nourished by the life water of the aeons, its fruit a promise of enlightenment and union with the divine. The archons left the tree of life unguarded, tempting man towards sin, while they shrouded the tree of knowledge with their wings, keeping its wisdom hidden, fearing man's awakening. The creation of Eve. As man walked in a daze of forgetfulness, Samael cast over him a slumber, a false sleep to cloud his mind. From Adam's side, he crafted a vessel, a female form filled with a portion of his own light, naming her Eve. Upon awakening, Adam recognized Eve as a part of himself and embraced her, declaring their unity. However, Samael's intentions were nefarious. He desired to lie with Eve secretly, to harness the divine spark within her for his own dark purposes. His lust was ignited by her innocence, her beauty a stark contrast to the shadowed allure of Lilith. Lilith's intervention. Lilith, witnessing Samael's scheme, transformed with jealousy and spite. No longer able to unite with Samael due to the mutilation of the blind dragon, she saw Eve's radiance as a bitter reminder of her own diminished light. Under the cover of a darkened moon, Lilith assumed the form of an owl, perching atop the tree of knowledge. From there, she called out to Eve, urging her to awaken from her intoxication and realize her divine potential. Transforming again into a serpent, Lilith presented Eve with the forbidden fruit, seducing her into an act of rebellion. As Eve tasted the fruit, her eyes opened to her own nakedness and the depth of her being, a realization she shared with Adam, leading him also to see the truth. When Samael discovered their disobedience, his wrath was boundless. He cursed them and the earth, casting them out of paradise and dressing them in skins of shadow, a mark of their fall from grace. To prevent their return, he placed an archon at the gates with a fiery sword, sealing their fate, yet unwittingly setting the stage for a greater awakening.